Hello, I'm Stanley Lucian. Welcome to the HTS Epoll. It's your opportunity to weigh in on the most pressing issues of the day. The reinstatement of a state-owned public radio station in St. Lucia, a move by the SLP administration, has sparked renewed conversation about the role of public broadcasting. The return of Radio St. Lucia, now rebranded as St. Lucia FM on the familiar 97.3 FM frequency, promises a platform to inform, educate, and unify the nation. Proponents of public radio contend that it serves as a critical public good, providing a singular authoritative voice, particularly during national emergencies, and a space for local culture, music, and discourse that private, commercially driven stations may neglect. The public service mandate, they argue, transcends profitability, acting as a vital counterbalance to market pressures. Conversely, critics often cite the financial instability and potential for political influence as significant drawbacks. The previous UWP administration's decision to close the station was based on its lack of profitability and mounting losses. Questions of sustainability and genuine editorial independence remain. These concerns underscore the perennial tension between public service and financial viability, as well as the need for a broadcasting model that is both accessible and free from political interference. So we ask, do you support the government's decision to bring back public radio? We took to the streets to get your opinion, and here's what you had to say.
I think that is amazing because Radio St. Lucia has always been here for us in St. Lucia. The public in St. Lucia, they have always notified us when we have any type of disaster, natural disasters, social disasters, and economic disasters. I really think that it's a good idea for them to change from the autonomic system that they're using right now and get back onto the manual way they used to do things. I do believe that it's a great move on the end of the government to re-establish Radio St. Lucia, because Radio St. Lucia is a part of our life.
It would also be in my interest to want it around because it would be a way of notifying the nation as to national topics that would affect us, and also it will give us the proper exposure as a nation for the outside to see what we provide here in the country.
You see, when people use all kind of politics to decide to take decisions, this is absolute crap. That's how I feel. What about profitability they're talking about? That is a state-owned radio station, All the government has to do is to make sure they put the monies there to make sure that it is operating. That's all they have to do. It's not about whether it is, what they said it was not profitable. How is it not profitable? Something is, you have an instrument, that is informing the entire public, about what is happening locally, and we want to close it down to say that it's not profitable. It's absolute crap, man.
Since government has decided to open it again, we all are looking forward to listen to it, especially when a hurricane, when something happening in the country, because it is information that we are looking for, and then we are depending on them. Since government today has decided to open up that station, we are all applauding this, and we are looking forward to listen to them soon and very soon.
I agree for them to open it back because we're getting to know everything that is going on in the world and in the country. We're getting to know everything. We know when we have bad weather, when we have good weather, when everything is changing around us, when things is coming good, when things is coming bad. We know everything, so it's good. I'm so happy and glad that they're opening it back because that's the only station that gives us everything. Yeah, so I'm grateful and thankful for it.
Obviously, people in the media, like me, would welcome Radio St. Lucia. However, I do not welcome it as St. Lucia FM. We must understand our foundation, our roots, and psychologically, when you hear of St. Lucia FM, it does not bring to your memory RSL. In no way. St. Lucia FM appears in the eyes of the general public as something new, a new entity. I would strongly recommend that the ministry responsible for communications and broadcast revisit. You know, sometimes people speak on shows like this and it's just flushed down the toilet. I mean, people just don't really take heed to what's happening. I believe we should have Radio St. Lucia back as RSL 97.3 FM. We need Radio St. Lucia as it was originally, and I'm telling you, St. Lucians will be really pleased.
Because communication is key in our life. I mean, we need to communicate even in time of a disaster, and if we have other issues to transmit, it's important that we create that kind of an environment for people's participation, and also the news items that are critical to our country. I think it's a good gesture, and I think those who may have reservation that I don't find merit in the argument. I think Radio St. Lucia has lived the life, and they have played the role significantly. Preferably, I want to ensure that it is well neutralized in terms of what it broadcasts.
When I heard it, I was satisfied. Let me tell you, I must disclose, in fact, that was a promise made by the government some years ago to reinstall and put back Radio St. Lucia on the airwaves. You have to understand the rationale for having a station like Radio St. Lucia, a station that in the time of hurricanes, in the time of disasters and so on, needs to be full-time advising the public as to what is going on. It is not a question of only of making money, and it's different. It's different as opposed to the commercial stations. So let me tell you this. I want to speak, and I speak in as somebody who has been involved in media for years. In fact, I pioneered and did any amount of work at the time of green gold in the banana industry. I was one of the few people, in fact, that was trained at Mascom in Jamaica. So when I saw that, I said, I believe the government at long last kept their promise.
Because, you know, it's an asset of St. Lucia, it's part of St. Lucia, it gives us an update on everything that's going on. We have previous things that happen, and they're keeping us updated on what is and what's not. So yeah, it's fine. And also, some people say it's not making profit, but it's not about the profit, the information that's important to us. The information, and let us know what's going on. Yes, I do accept it, yes.
Now to our new discussion. The recent admission by St. Lucia's Police Commissioner of missing evidence in two high-profile cases, the 2013 in-custody death of Shakadan Daniel and the 2018 murder of Kimberly DeLeon, has renewed calls for an independent body to investigate police misconduct. While establishing an oversight commission could enhance public trust and accountability, some worry it may complicate the legal process and undermine police authority. A dedicated body could provide greater accountability and transparency, yet some worry it might erode the authority and morale of the police force itself, potentially leading to a less cooperative environment. The series of events underscores the potential for systemic failures and critical need for a robust mechanism to probe such matters, thereby addressing potential dereliction of duty. So we ask, should St. Lucia establish an independent police oversight commission to investigate alleged police misconduct and dereliction of duty? Remember, our Epoll team is always on the go to get your responses as well. Watch the HTS News Force from 7 p.m. for the results and the new discussion.